And closing out the main card, we got a Striker's Delight matchup on paper with Cesar Almeida taking on Roman Kopylov. Cesar Almeida, he's coming back really quick. He just fought like 6 weeks ago against Dylan Budka, won. That was his UFC debut. Totally different opponent in that one where he fought a wrestler, a guy that was trying to take him down the whole fight. He got taken down a couple times, but showed good get-ups against the cage and eventually TKO'd a tired opponent in the second round. For Roman Kopylov, he had his I think he had a 5-fight knockout streak, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been 4, could have been 5, but either way, he was on a nice little run and had that snapped in his last fight against Anthony Hernandez, where it was a big-time fight. The winner of that one was probably going to get a top 10 matchup, and Kopylov just couldn't handle that pressure that Hernandez brings to guys. Hernandez drowned him and submitted him, but obviously Cesar Almeida is a totally different style matchup here, and we'll see what this fight's going to look like. But Cesar Almeida, 5-0 in MMA, so obviously he has really limited experience he can go off of from his MMA fights, but extensive kickboxing background. You'll hear the people talk about the Alex Pereira fights, even though those were 10 years ago at this point, so I don't think there's too much you can glean from those. But what you can say is he's been in there with some of the highest level strikers in the world. Even recently, he was in there with Donovan Wise, who's I think the current Glory champion, or if not a recent Glory champion. And he held his own there, and he's been in there with some other higher level guys. So he's obviously a very good striker. And this fight's going to be a striking fight, I would think. I mean, I've heard some people talking about Roman Kopylov's Dagestani roots and his training with wrestlers. Maybe he's going to turn the tables and hit some takedowns here. And I do feel like Almeida's takedown defense is terrible. But he's good at getting up against the fence. And ultimately, I just don't think Kopylov is going to wrestle here offensively. He's gotten really good with his defensive wrestling. But man, I don't think he's really getting too many takedowns against those Dagestani guys in camp. It's probably all him defending takedowns. So I just don't see him bringing out that offensive wrestling bag here on Almeida. I think it's going to be stand-up fight. And it should be a good fight on the feet. I mean, Kopylov is no joke in the stand-up. The guy's really dynamic, great kicks, nasty jab, pretty solid southpaw boxing. Obviously, he has that power. Almeida is more methodical, but he has nasty leg kicks. He picks his punches well, has big punch power. And I feel like his pressure and experience in the striking, he's going to be the more consistent striker. He's going to be walking Kopylov down. I think he's going to do damage with the leg kicks. And I feel like Kopylov's going to start withering a little bit, and Almeida's going to get his timing and pick it up. And I think Almeida's going to start to take over the striking realm. And ultimately, I think Kopylov isn't going to have the ability to mix it up to get the win here. I think Cesar could even clinch up Kopylov and be the better guy in the clinch as well, potentially. But I'm leaning towards Cesar Almeida to get this win here. He's a little bit older. He has to start going now and accumulate these W's to get to these bigger paydays. And we've seen these kickboxers at 185, man. They've been doing really well when they've transitioned over. I feel like Almeida's getting a good matchup here. He's getting a striker. And I feel like he's probably going to be able to get the win. I think he can get the finish in the second or third once again. Could even be a decision win. I mean, Kopylov has never been finished with strikes. He's really durable. So it's going to be interesting to see if he could finish him. But either way, I'm going to go with Almeida for the W.